Chapter: The Burning Blood of the Ancestors.
Anastasia took me by the hand. I felt the pleasant warmth of her tender palm, and I also felt how agitated she was, and I glanced at her face. Anastasia was looking into the center of the homestead mock-up. I also looked into its center. Nothing special there, unless the little white sticks arranged in the center had caught her attention. Once again she asked our son a question.
Tell me, my dear son, what does the white circle located in the center of the homestead represent?
I began explaining, instead of my son. It represents a small, round greenhouse. That's what Volodya and I decided on. Our little white sticks represent some kind of transparent material, glass, for example, or polycarbonate, or plastic sheeting. For a long time we couldn't stick it anywhere. It didn't go with anything. But now that Volodya has placed a greenhouse along the whole perimeter of the homestead, I really like it. Here you get both a greenhouse and a fence at the same time, and various utility rooms too. And I also like it that Volodya made a small, round greenhouse in the center too. Now it fits. Now it even goes really well with the whole perimeter of the homestead.
I think that what we have in the center is not a greenhouse, Vladimir,
Anastasia said in a whisper, slightly agitated, as before. Volodya heard her and calmly said, addressing me,
Mama's correct. The little white sticks in the center of the homestead do not represent a greenhouse.
Then what do they represent?
In the center of the homestead, Papa, I have placed a circle of mirroring water.
Is it a mirror or what?
You can put it that way, a mirror with mirroring water.
Very original, actually. You've situated a round mirror on a small rise in the center of the homestead. The clouds are reflected in it, and the sun and moon can admire themselves in it, and streaks of sunlight will fly off it and go dancing throughout the whole homestead. There's nothing like it in any landscape design, and I've looked through a lot of them. Very original.
You've stuck little red leaves around the mirror, Volodya. What do they represent?
That's a flame burning, Mama.
Where did the flame come from?
From oil and gas, Mama.
After this answer, Anastasia squeezed my hand a bit more strongly and asked our son the following question.
Did they allow you to light their blood on fire, Volodya?
Yes, the souls of our ancestors allowed me to light their earthly blood on fire, Mama. If they had not wanted this, then what came to me wouldn't have come to me.
Suddenly Anastasia's grandfather spoke, and I could sense agitation in his voice too.
Perhaps that's enough of distracting a person from important business. After all, you haven't done all you're going to do with the mock-up yet, have you, Volodya?
No, I haven't done all I'm going to do, Grandfather.
Then go on and do all you're going to do, and no one will bother you.
Yes, go on and do all you're going to do, Volodya. We'll get out of your way for now,
Anastasia added, and led me off to the side, away from the extraordinary family homestead design. When she'd sat herself down near the trunk of a large cedar, I asked, Anastasia, I can feel that you're agitated for some reason. Am I right?
Yes, Vladimir, I'm agitated. Much of what our son is doing does not exist on Earth today. Nor is there information about it in the universe either. That, which he has created in the center of the homestead, you called it beautiful and original. But it is not those words, not only those words, that describe what has been created. The construction Volodya told us about is an apparatus, and the main component of the apparatus is of unheard-of power, a biological mechanism. I can sense this, but I cannot find a precise word to describe its properties. Perhaps such a word does not yet exist. We can only speculate about this device's capacities, its unheard-of capabilities. But please, Vladimir, do not rush me. Allow me to gradually come to an understanding of what I have seen.
Chapter: A Gift from the First Earthly Civilization.
I surmise that all the separate details in the homestead design, when taken together, form a unified whole. It is possible that the homestead is a biological device or mechanism, or something else previously unimagined by consciousness. We have to think. We have to solve this riddle. The elongated oval of your hectare is framed with an earthen mound with clay edges. The mound is covered over with some sort of transparent material. Inside are various plants. There must be something significant in them.
Volodya said the plants can be ordinary ones. Vegetables, for example, tomatoes, cucumbers, and various green leafy plants. Basically, everything a person wants to eat. But you have to put in raised beds with a diameter of about 90 centimeters, spaced no less than 11 meters apart. On these beds you have to put out plants from deep in the taiga, because they won't let the information of anti-rationality through. That's what he was saying.
Yes, they won't let it through. In this way, the perimeter functions as a membrane.
A membrane for what?
For everything located inside the membrane. The greenhouse situated along the perimeter, where all the areas a person requires for living and for this household needs have been incorporated, looks pretty and sensible. Within a few years, the need for the transparent dome will fall away. The most important thing remaining will be what is growing strong and firm beneath it. Our son has pursued quite an extraordinary goal. He has fenced the homestead space off from the pernicious influence of the anti-world and anti-rationality, using the most powerful fence you can possibly imagine. It is not the clay walls and the transparent dome that play the most important role in this fence, but the plants inside the structure. They will exert a psychological effect simply by being there, and they will help you immediately bring opposites into balance within you.
How will they help me bring opposites into balance within me? That's some kind of mysticism or magic.
There's not a jot of mysticism or magic here, Vladimir. Rather, it's science, the one you call psychology. Imagine, you drive up to your homestead, and from far off you can see the little white walls of the little home of your childhood, and this immediately calls up positive emotions in you. Then you get out of the car and wipe off your feet, once more mentally cleansing yourself of negative information. The gates open wide before you, and your gaze takes in the living magnificence of your family homestead space, which will never cease to amaze and delight you. Unlike a non-living picture, it will always be varied. New flowers have blossomed on the raised beds and trees, and the light playing in a new way, or the little flowers stirred by the breeze will enchant you each time. Then you will want to take a look at whatever might be transpiring inside the fence, and you'll go into it. Its beautiful living richness and its airs will completely draw you away from the anti-world.
Yes, it really is great. The homestead will also play the role of my personal psychologist, and an extremely effective one at that. You're right, Anastasia. Each time I come back even to my country home after being gone for 3 or 4 days, each time it's interesting to look at what's changed in the garden, in the beds, and in the greenhouse. Now, of course, you can't compare a country home to the homestead you're talking about. Of course, it's much more effective. Look how much one bird on the bank of a pond means to us. Wow, to come up with something like that. It all started with an ordinary bathhouse, and it ended up with a magnificent and functional sculpture. Now I understand that it will also have a very strong psychological effect.
It certainly will, Vladimir. The bird will greet you, both when you have only just crossed the threshold of the home, and when you light a fire, and then when you go inside the bird, so as to warm your body and soul.
Tell me, Anastasia, but why did you take such notice or get so frightened when Volodya started telling you about the mirroring structure in the center of the homestead?
The little walls of the little white hut from your childhood, the greenhouse along the perimeter, with the living organism inside, the earthen bird with the burning heart, who strives to carry a person off into the sky. It's possible that it is a more perfected analog, the mirror in the center, reflecting the heavenly bodies.
Anastasia stood up and, pronouncing her words precisely, the way she always does when speaking of something significant, she said,
Vladimir, our son has created a mock-up. He has constructed a biological interplanetary ship.
What? I was amazed. Anastasia, are you sure?
Yes. I am sure. It's possible that we need to use a different word to name it. I don't know this word as of yet. But I am sure that the intended function of what we saw is to teleport the space along with the people located in it. A person who builds a family homestead using the elements of this design will, without a doubt, be able to build his own world on a different planet. And this world will be beautiful. In the center of the homestead is located part of the apparatus a person can use to transform, to psycho-teleport, to transfer the space along with all its contents to other planets and other worlds. Part of. But then where? I've understood it, Vladimir. Before us is a mock-up of a beautiful family homestead, and at the same time, before us is a mock-up of a perfected interplanetary ship. It is capable of moving at the speed of thought, of reaching in one instant the Moon, Mars, or Jupiter. Distance is basically of no consequence at all for it. It can cover a distance of 1 meter or a distance of 1,000,000 light-years in one and the same amount of time. It is capable of transferring people onto any planet in the solar system and beyond its bounds.
But Anastasia, scientists have proven that there's no life on planets, at least not the closest ones.
And that is why, Vladimir, I said it is capable of psycho-teleporting the space along with all its contents, including the dwelling land of all that lives in that space. In other words, this homestead can be transferred, or to express it more precisely, the given homestead can be copied and situated on a different planet.
How about the people who live on the homestead? Will they be transferred to the different planet too?
The people too, if they are located on the homestead at the moment of transfer.
But if there isn't any fertile soil on the other planet, or if it's 300 degrees or 100 below zero?
When the space is teleported, something akin to an explosion takes place on the planet, and as a result, the existence of the new space is secured.
End of chapter. Join us for the next segment of Anasta, Book 10 of the Ringing Cedars series, Teleporting the Space.